Hello and welcome to the Wine Club episode 12. I can't believe we're on 12 episodes already. I've got a week left in Mexico, and if you're listening to this now and wondering why we missed out on a week of the Wine Club, well, it was Easter, but I also got Delhi Belly really hard here in my last couple of weeks in Mexico City before I travel back to the UK. So apologies about the week off, but it was much needed and hopefully everyone enjoyed their Easter. Today's guest on episode 12 is none other than Tim Koster, a filmer and editor of Flatspot Magazine and fellow skateboarder, and I have been itching to get someone on the Wine Club to talk about filming and videography and editing. So really fun conversation with Tim. I didn't realise how much of a media background he already had within skateboarding before Flatspot Magazine and extreme sports in general. He even mentioned snowboarding. So enjoy episode 12. I'm hoping to get a few more in this series, and then we'll see how I get on with having spare time in between having a life, a full-time job back in England. So enjoy episode 12, The Wine Club, Tim Koster. Roll the tape.
Who you guys working for?
Who is this?
It's SkateWine.
Oh, beautiful.
Did you say SkateWine?
Yes, sir.
Hello and welcome to the Wine Club. We've got an extra special guest. I think my first international guest, if you don't call PLR international, because he was from Britain really, even though he's living in California. Tim Koster.
Oh.
I nearly lost the table there. Oh my goodness, that was scary. That would have been a lot of money just straight away.
Whole studio down.
How are you, Tim? Okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. You?
Yeah, really good. I have to straight away do a public apology to you. I was meant to be on this an hour ago, but sleep deprived. I woke up at 6 and I was just right, job searching. And then I thought I'll have a quick nap before the podcast, and then I just couldn't wake up. It was one of those when you go back to sleep and you're just finding it really hard to wake up. So public apology for being an hour late to this. And also straight away, if anyone's watching this on YouTube or even on Spotify, you can see you've got the professional setup as well. And I still look like I'm in my grandparents.
Each his own thing. I like your setup way better.
Thanks.
Yeah. Looks more homely.
I hope that's in a positive way.
Yeah, definitely. I don't have a couch.
What have you been up
good.
to?
I've been on a couple of holidays last few months. Haven't been to a lot of skateboard events because it's winter, so it's just starting again.
Of course.
But it just started last weekend again, started filming an event. So that was the first one this year, first skateboard competition. So yeah, getting ready for it.
Which one was that?
It was the Pola contest in Enschede.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a yearly competition, and it's always fun to go there.
Nice.
But,
and for anyone that doesn't know who you are, would you like to give yourself a quick introduction?
Yeah, I'm really bad at introducing myself, but I'm the filmer at Flatspot Magazine. That's my whole introduction. I try and stay behind the camera most of the times, so this is kind of hard for me. Getting interviewed.
You run your own podcast, though. I have to say publicly as well, you've helped me with mine. I hadn't even thought about adding questions to the guests, and you've got a few far out questions coming for you later on in the show. Okay. So I have to say thank you for your advice. So you run a podcast. Yeah,
that's true, but it's surrounded around other people. So I get to ask other people questions, so now I'm being put on the spot, and that's kind of a hard thing for me. So I started filming to not be in the picture, so.
It's just a conversation. And we've just been speaking for about 20 minutes off of the record button, and
that's what you say.
And you were talking, oh man, the stuff you brought up already is just brilliant. It's just amazing. So from the beginning of your love of skateboarding, how old were you when you started skateboarding? Because you're 34, right?
Yeah, 34.
So we're the same age. Yeah. So I'm super interested to know how and why you started skateboarding, because we would have been the same kind of generation.
Well, I started when I got to, I don't know if it's called middle school in England, but like the school when you're 12, 13.
Secondary school, yeah.
Secondary school, okay. That's when I started inlining, like with some friends. They had some inlines, and
Yes.
I thought it was a bit boring. And then I saw a skateboard at one of my friends' houses, and I just borrowed it, and it stayed with me. And then I got it for a few months, and then my mom bought me a real skateboard. So
Yes.
that was when I was 13 years old, I think.
I started
started
rollerblading when I was 11. That's what got me into, I guess, roller sports.
Yeah,
So-
but it was too easy, huh? Was just way too easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so needed something harder, so picked up a skateboard. Yeah,
So whereabouts did you start skateboarding? What town did you grow up in?
I'm from Amersfoort. That's a little town next to Utrecht, like the center of Holland. And I started skating mostly in front of the house of my parents. It was like a really shitty brick lane on the main street, but it was like a street with a dead end, so there weren't that many cars, but a lot of bikes. But I would build my own quarters and curbs and stuff and rails and just skate that, and eventually have a mini ramp in my backyard or build something in my shed.
No.
But I wasn't always skating that hard. Like all my friends were always doing the harder tricks, so I was always like, yeah, I just like building the ramps and stuff. And I picked up a high 8 camera, I think, back then. So I started filming with that thing, and I was like, how can I stay up with all these guys without being just as good as them? So I started filming. Yeah,
Nice.
that's the whole story, I think.
But how old
Think-
were you when you got the high 8?
Yeah, it was my mom's high 8, and I think I was 13 or 14.
Shout outs to
And
Mrs.
I'm-
Costa.
No, the young. She's the young.
The young.
Shout out to my mom. Yeah. Nah, but I lost the tape somewhere. Like I don't have any of that footage. Nothing.
No.
I was just filming and just watching it through the viewfinder and just thinking, oh, this is so sick and everything. Just lost the whole damn tape.
But it never
Just
got.
never, nowhere in my house. I really don't know.
No.
I've cleaned up my whole room when I left that house, of course. Couldn't find it. So
There's a hidden holy tape out there.
yeah, of old inside skate parks in Amersfoort that weren't filmed back then and stuff. So
No.
yeah, we need to find it someday. But
Unbelievable.
I will. Yeah. But
So
I was 13, 14, first camera.
So I've actually I've never skated with you. I've always seen you at events, but never actually skated with you. And I saw on Instagram you had a kickflip. I think it was kickflip, manual kickflip.
It was switch flip, manual switch flip.
Is that what it was? Switch.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you said you couldn't skate.
Yeah, it's a skateboard with rubber trucks.
Yeah, it's a practice sport.
It's the practice board. Yeah.
But still,
I
it
did
was
that a lot when
amazing.
I was younger in my shed. Like I did it a lot. Like build my own curb with the fake skateboard and do switch flip front crooks and stuff. But I can't do that in real life. It's way too hard to do it in real life. But I can do some flip tricks. That's what I can do.
What would you say you skated mostly then? Street or park?
Street.
Street. So you're more of a
Yeah.
street skater. So a lot of
Yeah,
the
but
footage was
if you
street.
mean in the essence of like street outside or street like a street park, I'd skate most like not that much transition in that sense. Like mostly banks and just flat ground and curbs and rails. That's what I love.
So from your progression from high 8, what was your next camera and what footage actually made it public?
My next one was I think a Medion, if you know that brand.
No.
It's like from the discount stores, like a really small pocket camera with the front end you clip open to see the lens, and you stick it in the SD cards. And back then, an SD card was 128 MB, I think. Yeah, something like that. And you put in 2 AAA batteries, and I would just film with that thing when I think I was 15 when I bought that one, with my first made money from delivering newspapers. And
Nice.
I would just go to street spots or skate parks, film 2 or 3 clips, then the whole damn thing was full. Go back home, put it in the computer, load all the footage in, get on my bike, get back to the skate park, and film another few clips because I only had one card.
Man, that's showing our age, and That's how
And
you'd
that's
live, isn't it?
yeah, and that
On
there's
digital
one
media.
video. There's one video, and I think it's like this weekend because it's Easter weekend, and I think it's Easter weekend. Yeah, it must be around 18 years ago. It's on YouTube. It's called Paas Weekend. It's
Oh,
it's one weekend that I go to near my mom's house. Then we go to a street spot somewhere around the city in some forest. And after that we go to Rotterdam. And the day after we go back and we skate the city again. And there's from each day there's a few clips. That was my first video I think online.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that's got to be a competition idea now for like a mini film skate competition.
Yeah.
You
It
can
was
only
you
take
had
out 128 megabytes.
and a small camera. Yeah,
So
that will be a good one.
Was that the first? Was that the first video you put together then?
I've made a lot of videos, but I would make a lot of videos just to put on forums back then,
Okay.
like on our skate shop forum. But it was just like doing with a photo and then having the skater do a trick, stop, seeing a picture, and then roll on like that kind of shit. But I think that's one of my first real edits. Yeah,
Almost like meme skating.
yeah, something like that. It was just mostly one clip postings on those websites, but that's before YouTube came around.
Did you say it was a
So
skate shop forum?
yeah, we had a
We-
skate shop in our hometown.
Okay.
And they had a website and they had a forum on it, and you could upload clips to that forum. Like back then, it wasn't that hard to upload just random crap to a web server. You could just upload whatever you wanted. So
No censorship.
now, if you do that nowadays, it's crazy. You can't just upload something to a web server.
So did you help out a lot of people with go sponsor me tapes then?
I would just send them the clips and they would edit it themselves, I think.
Okay.
Like after that first video, I started filming with a friend of mine, Koen Mulder, and together we called ourselves ADHD Movies because I was the one with ADHD. He didn't have it, but that's how we called it. And I had a little camera, and that was my first camera that I got when I got kicked out of school because of skateboarding. Because I was always skateboarding with a friend of mine, always going on about, not going to school. So my mom was like, "I'm done with you. You just go look for a job." So I became a bike mechanic.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so after 3 months, like my new boss, like the owner of the bicycle shop, he was like, "No, I'm not gonna pay you. You can't do shit. Like I'm not gonna pay people that can't do anything." So after 3 months, I was like, "Yeah, could I please get some money for for work because I'm trying to buy this little camera?" And he was like, "Yeah, how much do you need?" I was like, "Yeah, the camera's like 250 euros." And he gave me 200 euros and he was like, "Don't spend it all." And I bought a Sony DCR HC14E. That was like a small, how do you call it back then? Got one. What's the name again? The name is a Handycam. It was a Handycam that filmed on the smaller tapes, like the DV tapes
Yes.
with the digital video tapes. And you had a fisheye on it that you used like a adapter ring to go bigger. And I filmed with that one for I think 2 years. And I started filming just random events and stuff. And with this guy, with Koen, we made one video of Etnies was doing a tour through Holland, and it was just the Dutch team, but they were doing stops on every skate park, like for a few
nice.
weeks. And they came to Amsterdam, and we made a video, and it was with what's this English band with "We Don't Care What You Want." What's that song again? With that kid that walks all angry through the street.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna look it up and I'll send it to you.
But
we made this.
knowledge.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. And we made this little edit, and I was like, "Yeah, nice edit." And all of a sudden, I got called by the guy that run like Etnies and like Soul Technology, like Etnies and America and stuff. And he did the tour.
Wow.
And he was like, "Yo, I like the video you made. What's your address?" And I was like, "Oh, well, okay. This is my address." And he sent me 2 T-shirts and 2 magazines. And I was like, "What the fuck? You can get
That's
shit
wicked.
you can get shit for just filming something, just doing what I love. It's like pretty crazy. It's really crazy to have that. Yeah, that made me like think about it more, just doing it more and more. I was like, I want more free stuff.
I think if you're good at filming, it is a way into the industry. You know, if your skateboarding isn't up to par of the pro skaters, it's funny, but
Yeah.
loads of people are skating for fun. They go to a skate park or they go to a street spot. No one wants to stand there with a camera and film, like generally speaking. So
No.
I find, like yesterday I was skating with Oscar Meza, I find you just get out and I love filming like yourself, and I actually could not wait to get someone on the podcast that loves filming because I love talking about cameras and stuff. I've tried to get Jake Powell from Skateboard GB on, but he's too shy. And that's kind of funny because you're saying you don't want to be filmers
In front of the camera.
in front of the camera. Exactly. It's quite funny. So what was the progress? I don't want to miss out the section between that, you getting Etnies t-shirts, and then Flatspot Magazine. So how was the progress?
Oh, whoa, there's so much in between.
Oh,
Like,
amazing.
so much. Like, that was around when I was 16, I think, when I got that t-shirt.
Wow, so you were smashing filming when you were 16 already. Like that's like
Together
quite
with a
full on.
friend. Like, he was good at editing back then. He still makes
Okay.
videos. He still makes videos nowadays. He's also a really good skater. But then we split up, and I was just doing my own thing. And I did that for 2 years, just making little videos and stuff. And we had this thing here in Holland that's Mr. Fisheye. And it was like this guy from my hometown. He could edit like the best. Like back in the days, it was crazy if you could do After Effects and all that kind of stuff. And he made videos, and I was always like just blown away by how he made those videos. And he was filming with a Sony VX 2100, and he was hired by the guy from Etnies and Soltech, to cover those events and make the promotional videos. And he was my same age, and I was like, I want to be on that level. Like, I want to be where he is. So let's think about it. I started filming with him as well, like for the Mr. Fisheye videos, just filming the clips, and he would edit them all. And
How did you end up meeting and talking to him? Was that through Etnies?
I just know him because he's from my hometown. Like, he just skated
Okay.
with us as well. So, and nowadays I don't know where he is. I heard he lives somewhere else, and he doesn't do skateboarding like since the last 15 years or so.
Oh wow,
So
okay.
he's been gone for a while. But in those 2 years, like from 16 till 18, I just mostly filmed with my friends, trying to film just street stuff and sometimes an event here and there. And then I got 18, and I had this deal with my mom that if I wouldn't smoke till I was 18, I would get 1,000 euros. So I already spent those 1,000 euros before I got 18 because I needed a camera. So on the day I got 18, we immediately bought a Sony VX 2000, like the one that came after the 1000 with the
Okay.
screen, because I really wanted the screen.
Was that was
And
that was DV as well, was it?
yeah, it's also DV. Yeah, yeah. And from there,
I love your mum's bribing you. I love that. Just don't
Yeah,
smoke until you're 18. You get 1,000 euros,
you get 1,000 euros. Yeah.
and
That's-
you
but
don't
she always-
smoke now.
No.
It
But
works.
that's what my mom always said. She's also like, if you want to do drugs, fine, but please don't do it before you're 21, before your brains developed. I really don't care about that kind of stuff now because I was allowed to do it back then. So I didn't do it back then, but that sort of helped me out, I think.
Yeah,
If I
definitely.
hear if I hear friends that say that they couldn't do it, yeah, they had to do it. So, but yeah, then I bought the camera. Damn, this is digging through my memory.
35, 34, getting old, mate.
Yeah, damn, it's 16 years ago. So I bought that camera, and I just started filming for a street video with my homies from my hometown. We were just every week and every night we would go around in my mom's car because she had a fuel card. So we always took my mom's car, and I could drive everywhere, and we just hit every spot in Holland that we could. And it took us, I think, about 1.5 years to put on a complete video. It's called Sin Nombre, and it's still a pretty good video.
Is that on
I-
YouTube?
I think it's somewhere on YouTube. Some people uploaded it,
You
and I'm
have to
not
send
saying
me all
that
these
that
links.
I'll send you the links. I'm not saying that it's a good video because I made it, but like the skating in there, like the guy that has the last part, he's insane. Like this guy is crazy. He did like fake flip crook, tray flips out back then. Yeah, so
What,
fake flip switch crook,
who was the skater?
fake tray. John Koetsier.
Wow.
Yeah, he was insane. He could do big spin heel blunts and stuff back then. It was so gnarly. Yeah, and so we made that video, and I also started filming events now and then. And back in the day, you had this online magazine. It was also in England and in Sweden, Norway. It was Tacky magazine,
Okay,
and they
I've
did
not heard that one.
snowboard. They did snowboarding, skateboarding, and eventually also surf. And the guy that ran that, he was from Holland, but he lived in Sweden for a few years, and the the main office was in Sweden. And they asked him, "Do you want to be our division in Holland?" So Holland and Belgium he would be doing, and then he asked me to come film for them now and then, and eventually he asked me to be the main editor.
Oh
So
wow.
when I was 19 or 20, I became the main editor of the Dutch Techie and
That's
Belgium.
that's incredible.
Yeah, yeah, that was,
I,
and
I did not know that you had all this like background and history into skate media before social media and YouTube and everything became so popular,
yeah,
and with your
but
Flatspot magazine. So I feel so amateur when I started
like
my stuff back in 2015, and I like literally just like you say with like a duct taped camera and
and
absolutely no media experience. So this is fascinating.
yeah, I never went to school for any of this. I just learned it on the way, like from him and from other people just telling me how I should do it or how they think I should do it. And I did the editor kind of thing of the website, so putting up articles every day. I needed to post like 3 items of everything, like events or photos or a video, and I should send out people to film something or something like that.
Wow. So you're getting
But
paid for this?
yeah, but it wasn't really
Nice.
that much. But I was living with friends in a house, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. I just really love doing this. Who cares about the money back then? So I was
Exactly.
just doing that. First, it was just next to my bicycle job, and so in the evening, every evening, writing articles and just thinking of stuff to post. And after that, it became a full-time job
Wow.
for 1 year, and he they just asked too much about for everything like that I had to make. Like everything had to be now and then, and it wasn't about the passion of skateboarding. It was more like a machine,
Content.
just keep on
Yeah.
pushing out content. And I had to do snowboarding, I had to do skateboarding, so I also went on snowboard trips, like through Europe for months on to just do
Wow.
snowboarding. So that's when skateboarding came a bit on the side back then. It was really fun to do all those things, but like eventually it kind of got too much for me, so I quit filming for 2 years or so
Oh
after that.
wow. Because it was just
Yeah,
grinding, I guess. Just grinding
yeah, it
out.
was just grinding. Like it was so crazy because it was all still with my DV camera. So also that snowboard trip, we went to Austria with. Do you know any snowboarders
No.
or no?
No.
Well, yeah,
Sorry.
like with European champion back then, like with three of those guys, like the best of the best.
No
We just went
way.
from house to house every 3 days, film a different snow park in Austria in a different town. And then immediately I had to edit it. But back then I didn't have a laptop. I just had my whole computer with a flat screen and everything. So every house we had to carry everything in. I had to one day film, next day film for a half, then started capturing because that's what you did back then, just capture the footage. And then edit the whole video, put it online and like rinse and repeat, do that for like a month or so.
So you were carrying around a desktop
Yeah, a
with
whole
a foot.
desktop. Yeah.
You must be able to appreciate now being able to just whack out
But
a.
whack out a laptop, just stick in the SD card, and you're good to go. Like back then, it was
Yes.
crazy, having to buy new tapes every time you started filming. Like
That,
on my
I think that's something I appreciate so much now with what I do is I was always like touching on filming when I was younger.
yeah
Skateboarding and actually skateboarding was like my main thing. And one of my first cameras was a Betamax camera. I don't know whether you know it. It's a massive 1980s.
With the big
You have like a big recorder.
video.
You have it in the back, and then like. So I had that, and I remember it taking so long. One, to get to tape, and then to VHS, and like making my sponsor me videos back when I was like 11, 12 years old. The amount of effort it took just to make a 30-second with
You
like
had to,
5 or 6 clips.
with two video recorders, right? Then just put one in, then capture it over the other one by
Press
pressing
record.
record and play and stuff. And yeah, I never did that, but that was grinding.
But now it's just like you know, you say you get the SD card, you whack it. Like the process that we go through now would have been like
It's
weeks
insane.
of work.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane how easy it is, and even like just dropping it to your phone with AirDrop and stuff. You can't compare it. Like back then, it was insane work. How much work it was. You needed a separate camera to capture it because otherwise you would make the heads of your camera, they would wear down.
Die.
So,
Yes. Ah, how lucky
Yeah.
people are these days. We're sounding old.
Yeah, we do.
The other aspect of this is you've really networked with your filming as well. So you've met top line snowboarders. Where did you go from when you were doing your editing and taking around this big? Sorry, finish the story.
Oh.
Sorry, you were saying about taking the big desktop around with you.
Yeah, I was just saying like how much of a hassle it became eventually to just do it like that every time. And working at that company, eventually I also got to manage the England side of the website, like Techie World was it back then. I don't know if you know Tom Kingsnorth. He's Transform Gloves. It's a snowboarding glove brand.
Okay,
He's
no,
from
I'm
England.
not.
He's from England, and I worked together with him, and he took over the England part. But after I quit Techie, some other dude came in, and he also just managed for 1 year. And then Matthijs came in, like the guy that I'm working on with Flatspot now.
Okay.
And he made it a really good, like he doubled the numbers and everything. Like he's just a guy that knows how to set up certain things and just keeps on pushing everything and just does it. And he got, I think, double numbers and everything, and then he asked for a raise. I think that's the story. And the guy that runs it was like, no. So he just stormed out of there and started Flatspot Magazine. Like
Oh, right.
right then and there, together with Rob Rouleau and Rimmert Schoorlemer. Those are two other guys that started Flatspot. And
Right.
and that's when I was, I think around when I was 26, 25, 26. And they asked me sometimes to just start filming little clips for them. Like they had Minuteman, that's just filming with one guy in one skate park. And that's called Minuteman. So I did that in the beginning. And after a year or 2 years or so, I think, Rob and Rimmert are both like, we can't handle doing this and having a normal job besides that. And we want to focus, like Rob wanted to focus more on print and not too much on the whole internet thing. This guy's older than us. He's more from the older generation. And like he's still helping us out sometimes. And Rimmert just didn't want to be in skateboarding or something like that anymore. And they both quit. And Matthijs was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to continue this. So I was like, well, I want to be part of Flatspot. Let's do it together then. And that's how I started at Flatspot.
So that was around when you were 26 then?
Yeah, 26, 27, I think.
Wow, okay.
That's the weird thing when you get older. The time flies by so fast. Like the first few years, it's pretty easy to remember. But now, like, fuck.
My interview with Sean, who's like 57, said exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
I was like, when did
what's
this
happening?
happen? He's like, Rob, my brain isn't a time machine. I can't
It's
remember
scattered,
the
like-
exact dates. Yeah.
I can probably look it up if I'm on my phone and seeing like the years and the photos with it.
Because the first time I'd heard of Flatspot Magazine was when I saw you guys in the Copenhagen Open.
Yeah, that's why where I saw you for the first time as well in your with your tuxedo, with the tuxedo outfit, right?
Yeah. Going around annoying everyone.
Let's take a quick look. What's this? This is 2013. Was it back then? Maybe.
So you would have been at it for about
Techie was
4 or 5 years before I saw you then.
yeah, something like that. Yeah. It was 2017, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Good memory. You've managed to remember that one. Yeah, I do. I remember. I remember it really vividly because I saw you guys. It was like the basketball court, and then there
it
was the ledge.
outside the Royal Skate Park.
I
right?
think. There was like a basketball court. And it was a street spot, I think, that I remember. And I remember.
Oh, that one.
I remember there was like ledges, and they were doing like tricks on the ledge. And
Yeah.
I remember, and it's so fitting now, knowing your background and having such a huge like experience in skate media and snowboard media and just extreme sports in general. I'm there in my tux and
Yeah.
600D, I think it was, the Canon 600D. I'd only just started, so yeah, it was about, I was a couple of years into doing what started off as a hobby for me. And I remember looking over, and obviously you've got yourself as the filmer, you've got Woody as the presenter, and I think you had someone else with you as well. I remember looking over like,
probably.
man, yes. And I remember looking over and being like, man, like that's amazing. Like that's like you're the pinnacle of like skate media, really professional. And then there's me holding the camera like this.
But
and
that also has its charm. Like I was like, who the fuck is this dude walking around with his weird microphone taped to something? Like, you had a bottle of wine with you or something like that, right? Or just a glass? I don't really remember.
possibly.
I was like, he's doing what we want to do as well. Like just asking stupid questions and just being not too serious about it.
I think that's the other aspect of it that was a bit surprising. It was almost like a parallel world. Is how similar Woody's style is to my presenting style, and the fact that like I think back then I just had the mullet, and he had a kind of a mullet, and his sense of humor was very similar to like my sense of humor, and I was like, oh man, I remember thinking it's gonna look like I'm ripping you guys off because I'd never heard of Flatspot Magazine. Eh?
Weren't you?
Yeah,
what we thought.
I was actually big fans watching the. Like this motherfucker's going around with 600D.
He's trying to steal our image with a tuxedo. Way more professional.
But that was it. I was like, oh man, like I think after that I'd got back to the UK and I started watching some of the Flatspot Magazine stuff. And there was two things in my head. I was like, it's going to look like I'm ripping you guys off, which I wasn't, which was amazing because I was like, I love anything that's still got that. Because I think, especially around that time, skateboarding had started getting very serious. You've got like the big brands like Nike and New Balance and stuff, and they were making stuff a lot more serious. Yeah. And to know that there was another like YouTube channel or media, because you've got the website and everything, you're like the real deal. It was just so refreshing to me, and I was just like, yes, this is brilliant. And then obviously I met you guys, and we started to, when did we first chat? Was it at?
I think at Halfpipe Horror. We chatted before that, but then we really met, I think, at Halfpipe Horror.
Oh, Halfpipe Horror!
When you took over Woody's job.
Why didn't Woody come to that? Is he
Wasn't
busy?
he? I think he had a broken leg back then.
Ah, he was going around in the wheelchair.
I think so. Yeah, he's had a few of those the last few years, but I think he tore like everything in his leg with a hard flip revert from a stair, I think. Yeah.
That was the other thing. Was like going through and seeing your independent channels and seeing how good Woody could skate. I was just like, wow. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, he's a good presenter, but can he skate? And it's like, he can skate as well, Rob. He's really
He's
good.
been Dutch champion. Like a few years back.
The first clip I ever saw of him that really sticks in my mind, which no doubt you filmed, was he does a hard flip over this rail into like a bank.
Into a bank?
I think it's a bank.
Is it like a grayish bluish stair?
I can't remember exactly what it was looking like. I think the bank was brown. I've got a feeling the bank was brown. I could be wrong. My memory could be.
I filmed so many hard flips of this guy. So
yeah, when you get a good trick, you stick to it.
Yeah, and he knows how to hard flip. So yeah.
So going back to 2013 when you joined Flatspot Magazine.
I think it was 2013. Could be a little bit later, but around that, I think.
So was Flatspot Magazine covering all the? Was it covering international events as well? Was it just solely Dutch?
No, it was just the Dutch things back then, and it's always been like own content, like just doing your own stuff. And eventually, like we just don't cover events if we don't like it, or if they hire us, we go there. But
I think
if we don't,
that's
so
exactly it. You're at a point now where your content is so good and so professional and also entertaining that you've got the ability to pick and choose now because, well, I didn't know your background, but because of your background and because of how good what you put
yeah,
out is.
but like we don't make that much money from Flatspot. Like what we do is like we sell our content. Like for a contest, we sell like social media coverage during the day, photos, and the video coverage from like the big events, and we use that money to pay for things we like to do, like going on short trips somewhere, or like an event that we want to go to, but that doesn't pay us or anything like that, like a Copenhagen Open or something like that. So
It's one of the most
those kind of
annoying
things.
things about being within skateboarding is that there isn't that influx of money that you've got for these things. So you're literally making money to then spend money on the stuff that you enjoy
Well,
within.
back in the day when I worked at Techie, there was so fucking much money going around.
Oh,
Like we
right.
sold we I think we sold a banner once, like just a top banner because Facebook wasn't there yet, Instagram wasn't there. Just a top banner for Nike. I think they paid a 250,000 for 3 months.
Wow. And that
Yeah, that
was
was
on people, that
insane.
was on hits, people coming to the website.
Yeah, they were just like, yeah, how much do we pay for that? Just I think the Paul Rodriguez ad it was back then for his shoe, something like that. And they would pay like a 250,000 for on all the 5 or 6 websites just to have their top banner for 3 months on.
So Flatspot Magazine isn't making that just yet then?
No, we were going on a steady grow, but then the COVID hit. So, but at least, but like Matthijs and I and Woody, we just have our normal jobs beside this.
So,
Like
so what else do you do outside then?
I have my own bicycle company.
Ah,
Like
wow.
I fix bicycles on the spot, and I help some other stores out sometimes. So something like that. Yeah,
Nice.
just freelancing.
Yeah,
And
well,
Yeah,
how much would you
we
just
all.
love to do it full time though? Although having said that,
I don't want to.
you have to churn it out, don't you? That's the freedom of
Like if I would do it full time again, I think I would get annoyed with it. Like I
again
need to have like
a
days that
break.
I'm not busy with skateboarding
Yes.
to keep it fun. I first started just doing little things at the company, just doing like some kids that like the Minuteman videos on our channel. Those are just unknown kids that we ask to come over to a skate park and film. Nowadays,
Ah,
Sean is
nice.
doing that, the guy that also runs skate park Utrecht. And yeah, then Rob and Rimmert quit the job, and I got in with Matthijs. That's how I started doing that. And let's see. And now we're here. No, yeah. Since the last few years, it's just becoming a little bit more work, but it's also getting better. Better cameras.
That's true. What
Yeah.
cameras are you using at the moment?
I now use a Sony PXW Z90, I think. I've
Sony.
got this.
Boo.
Yeah, I've got the Z90 and the X70, I think. I think the X70 is now the one that I use for the podcast, and the Z90, I think that's the newer one. I get confused nowadays. That's the one that I use to film just the events. And then I got a Sony A7S with a fisheye lens to do the fisheye tricks.
I was going to ask you about the fisheye. So is it just are you just the only filmer in Flatspot then? So
Yeah.
it's you're the filmer. You've got Mateo. What's Mateus do?
Matthijs is the guy that makes all the deals with the skate parks and the events and stuff.
So
And
he's
he's a
very business
photographer.
minded.
He's a really business-minded guy. Yeah,
Ah, so
he's really
he's
good at that. Yeah, and he's a photographer.
that's right. I remember now.
Yeah,
So you're
yeah.
getting the video content. He's getting the photos because
Photos.
he
Yeah,
came to half pipe horror as well, didn't he?
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes, I think
And
that's
Woody
when you
gets the
introduced
beer.
me.
Yeah.
Woody, I love Woody. Woody's my favourite. I think it's someone that like I looked up to him as soon as I found your channel after Copenhagen Open. I just look up to all of you, but I looked up to Woody because I was just like he's everything that I was wanting to do and be as well.
And we just discovered him. Like he didn't wanted to be a host. Like in the beginning, we just way in the beginning we always did like we didn't have microphones, so I had a lavalier microphone. And we used beer bottles, and I just always have the lavalier next to a beer bottle, and it was always going into the arm. And every time we used someone else to do the speak, like to be the speaker, but it was all in Dutch. It was all in Dutch, and I was like, we need to step up the game, just do it all in English. And then Woody did it a few times, and people in Holland were like, that shit's so funny. Like when he does it in Dutch, it's so funny. And we were like, okay, then he's gonna do it in English as well because he's also good in English. He does his fake.
I was hoping you'd bring this up.
He does his fake English accent, so people are always like, "What the fuck's up with this dude?" But he speaks really proper English. Like that's the funny part, and people are just annoyed with him. And yeah, I really love that. Some people can't really take that. Yeah, he would love to, I think. And so he started doing that more and more, and that's how he became part of the team.
When was this? What year was this?
Damn. Maybe can I look something up?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, let's see. It was. I think it was the.
It almost feels more professional with you going actually through it.
NK Flatspot. Let's see. I think it was at Super NK. Like 6 years ago.
Oh, so he was
like that.
He was basically fresh on the scene in Copenhagen then. Was that one of his first trips with you guys then?
Yeah, could be. Like, but that year we started doing a lot, I think. I need to go to our account. Let's see our account. Like too many videos. It's becoming a blur, like oh I don't want to hear the sound. Let's scroll all the way down. Because so many events come back every year that you don't really remember what was when. Let's see, it's all Woody. 4 years. He's also doing it a long time now. There, that's 5 years. 6 years. Yeah, but that was a good year. First went to Pride as well. Damn. Oh, it's way longer than that. I think he started doing it like 6 years ago.
Okay, that would have been around the same time then, 2016, 2017.
Yeah, I think 6 years ago. Yeah, it was after that the Dutch Championships then.
Oh,
and then we had a game of skate park back then, in which he did funny. He talked funny, and we're like, yeah, he could probably do it.
Wow, I didn't know that. So he was fresh on the scene when I saw you guys in Copenhagen.
Yeah, it was Out of Focus number 61, Belgium versus the Netherlands, I think, somewhere around there. So that's 6 years ago, and that's on the. Let's see, the date was. You can't see that now. The 13th of March, 2017, somewhere around that.
Wow.
So exactly 6 years ago. Yeah.
So he was fresh on the scene then at Copenhagen Open when I saw you guys.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's really cool.
But he had some training with doing television stuff and all those kind of things. Yeah, he's been on a few game shows with skateboarding to get together with Douwe, like being in some extreme games or something like that.
That's brilliant.
Had to skate some shitty skate park in a studio, so he knows how to handle himself in front of a camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love your out of focus stuff. It's brilliant. And that's something as well, is that you had the interviews and then you had the skateboarding. A lot of channels, it was just skateboarding or it was interviews. So it was one of those things where when I discovered you guys, dare I say it again, it was like, holy shit, this is the stuff that I've been trying to do or wanting to do. And actually, a lot of my friends were complaining that I wasn't managing to film skateboarding. Like I was doing Vert Attack. That was kind of where it all started off for me. And it was just interviews for me. And it was like, so I remember Sam Beckett saying, you need to get skateboarding in there just to split it up a little bit. But it's funny because when I started doing it, I would watch things like Flatspot and be like, "Oh man, Woody's doing this all himself. I can't believe this," and not realize that there's actually a whole team, like there's a whole crew of you doing it. And I think that was I had like the opposite problem of thinking that like people that were just doing it all themselves, whereas actually there's usually more than one person, because I was obviously like doing the interviews, I was then filming it because I'd have a tripod, I wouldn't have a filmer, and then I was taking it home and editing it, so it was just like a one-man band. And so like to find out that you guys had a crew, I was like, that makes so much sense, and it's like so much more time efficient.
Yeah, like I do all the filming and the editing, and Woody, it's really nice to just grab Woody and just say, "Yo, interview him," and he just walks up to them and he'll just act the way he wants, and it's always golden in my opinion. Like I just watched the video, I'm just laughing behind the camera, like, what the fuck's happening this time? Like that time that he with what's his name again? The guy that films a lot for Treasure and stuff. That said, Smoke Speed.
Okay.
That said Smoke at Copenhagen Open that they were like, "Yeah, I'm just smoking speed and have shit on the wall," and I was like, "What the fuck's happening over here?" There were kids walking around. He was like to the kids, "Okay, kids, make sure to smoke speed and shit on the wall." One of the funniest things ever.
I love that.
I think it's Copenhagen 2018. I think. Yeah, there was funny stuff.
Did you go to the one last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were there because we were promoting our event. So
that's right.
So,
I couldn't make it. I really wanted to go.
You have to be there this year.
What's the date? I'm gonna have to pencil that one in for sure.
The 15th of July at Pier 15 in Breda. Tampa's also coming, so they're doing the Dam Am the 2 days before our event at the same location.
Who's coming? Sorry.
Tampa, like skate park of Tampa.
Wow, yes, because you've been out to Tampa. Because that's so
we worked together with them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was like one thing in my life, like
so jealous.
Work for those guys as well. That's like
so jealous because I don't know about you, but when I first started skateboarding, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was what got me into skateboarding. And the other thing that got me into skateboarding, which I'm lucky that I'm not repeating because this is going to end up being me repeating it on a podcast. Tampa, like seeing clips from Tampa, whether it was on VHS or through other means, and just being like, man, this is where back when I wanted to be a pro skater, which I never managed to be, and was never at any of the levels that these people were going to Tampa Am and then like Tampa Pro, and it was just like that. I have always been a skate park skateboarder, and it was just amazing that it's, you know, you got Jamie Foy, who's a street skater, and they're all turning up. All the street skaters are turning up to a park and park skating. So to me, I was like, yes, this is amazing. It's joining both worlds. And when I saw you out there, I was like, man, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, it was crazy going there. It's way smaller than you think, like the whole park. But it's insane. It's so funny to be there. Yeah.
What year did you go out for that? You didn't go out this year?
No, we were supposed to go last year for the Tampa Am, like in I think November. But just before we had to take our flight, there was a hurricane, so we couldn't make it. We were the flight got cancelled. Yeah, so we didn't make it. And then Tampa Pro we couldn't. But I love to go. Like Tampa Pro is way more laid back than Tampa Am. So, but it's always fun. Like it's nice weather over there. It's crazy.
It's an interesting paradox that you've got Tampa Am being way more serious than Tampa Pro. And it makes sense. It totally makes sense.
It's insane. Tampa Am, like there are 300 to 400 guys just competing each other, and it's total chaos in that skate park. It's so hot over there, and everybody's just going, and just throwing the most insane tricks.
How long is that
on a row? Like it. I think they start like with practice from whenever you want to come at the skate park, but then I think Thursday they start with the first runs. They go up to Friday or Saturday, and then it's
the final.
Finals is on Sunday, yeah, or Saturday still.
It almost sounds like a park version of Vert Attack, really, with everyone
turning up. Vert Attack.
Oh, you've got to go next year. You've got to go to Vert Attack.
Yeah,
it's the best. Okay. One of the best things ever. I love it, and I think that's the thing is I'm not a vert skater. Like I've always been a park skater. Like I like street, I like park, I like vert, mini ramp. So I've always gone along and just, that's the thing. You go along to Vert Attack and some people can just barely drop in and they're entering the competition and it's so supportive. It's like, yeah, you come last place, but you've dropped in.
Yeah.
Like
You tried at least.
Exactly. Yeah. So definitely get along to that.
I love seeing Vert. Like, it's insane. Vert is insane to watch in real life. Like,
Halfpipe Horror was so fun. That was just before the pandemic as well. That was literally just before the pandemic. 2019, October,
Oh.
It was one of my last events because I did that one and then I did Bowlzilla and then it was just like shut down. Everything shut down.
Yeah, we went to Curacao back then and we stayed a few days longer because we could book our flight because of the pandemic. That's my last thing that I went to.
Where was that? Where was that?
Curacao, the Caribbean.
Ah, yeah. Right.
Yeah. We just went on a holiday and after that everything was fucked.
It's crazy.
We were in the sun. Yeah.
So what did you guys do over the pandemic with regards to content? Because you didn't shut down, did you? You didn't just like go, right, that's it. We've had enough.
Like they shut everything down over here.
Yeah.
But I need to take a look. Like the whole pandemic is kind of
a blur.
Yeah. Like I think I've pushed it away from my brain.
Yeah, same.
like it didn't. That's the same with like you remember a lot of stuff when you do a lot of stuff, but when you don't do a lot of stuff, all the days mix together. Like that's
100%.
So the whole pandemic is feels like 1 week.
And it's weird because it's pretty much 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Scrolling through the last few years. Okay, here's Curacao. After that, we had a few parts from some guys. We did some coverage of some skate parks that just got built.
I saw the one I'm in Mexico and you were just out across the water. I can't remember where you were. You were in this, was it an island? They built a new
that's
park?
Curacao as well.
Oh, that was Curacao.
Also Curacao.
Ah,
yeah,
okay,
that's we were there like 3 years ago, just for the pandemic, and now we just got back because some guys just built the first public skate park over there.
Was that a paid gig as well then?
Yeah, they paid us.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because we also cover their skate parks in Holland. When they finish a skate park, they hire us to do the promotional video and to just have a video that the city can use and that the photos for themselves, for their website and stuff. Yeah, we do this for a lot of skate park builders over here. That they ask us to do that, and it's good content. People love watching the new parks being skated for the first time and seeing what it's about. So yeah, there wasn't a lot back then. Yeah, a few events started again from 1 year ago. Before that, it was all just
how was it getting back?
A few small things.
How was it getting back into it from having a little hiatus?
I never quit longer than 4 months. I think I still did things like this time, like now last week got the first event after Curacao. Like Curacao wasn't the event; it was just a whole week of partying, drinking, chilling on the beach, and then having 1 day to film, and then edit it when I get back. So it's not that much pressure. And the last event was the Dutch Championships. Yeah, that's kind of different, just how you film an event. But I've done it so many times in my life right now that you just know how to film an event. I just got a certain
routine,
certain role how I do it. Yeah, and that's also kind of dangerous because you get stuck in a certain type of video that you always seem to make then.
Yes.
But I get back into it pretty quickly. Was kind of scared because I got my whole hand is they say it's how do you say I've used it too much, so these muscles are like fucked. I need to have dry needling every once in a while because I can't put my hand back like this anymore. So I was working with repairing a bike and also I can't use my hand the whole day. So I was like, fuck, maybe I can't even film anymore. So I was using the camera, didn't hurt anything. So I'm blessed with that. So
is that from filming?
I think it's a combination of just filming like steady for a few hours, standing like this, then editing. Like I can't edit with a mouse. I edit on my trackpad on my MacBook.
No
and just do
way.
Everything. Yeah, I do everything with my thumb and then the short keys. That's how I edit everything.
That's amazing.
So I don't use anything else. And maybe that's just working like an idiot, like how I work. And then doing the hard work, like pulling up the bicycles and putting them into the chains and just hanging them up, and just sometimes something is too locked that I really overpress my hand. So it's a combination of those things, I guess. So, but I can still film. So
two different
balancing
avenues of work, and they both require physical duration. Endurance.
And the one is just steady, just keeping it really steady like this, holding your breath, and the other one is just like, don't think about it, just break it open or something like that. Just like my hand is all the time thinking like, what the fuck is this again? So
your poor hand.
Yeah, my poor hand, but it works. So
did you have
good?
Did you have Pier? Is it Pier 7? Pier. Your skate event, sorry.
Pier Parade.
Pier Parade. Did you have the Pier Parade set up before the pandemic, ready to go, and then that?
No, but it was like Matthijs was thinking about a big skateboard festival for a few years.
Okay.
And he was just bringing all the different teams together to get it done. And then Pier 15, that's a location. That's a big skate park in Breda. And the guy that set that up with his team, he also builds skate parks in Holland. That's 9 Yard skate parks. So he's one of the biggest sponsors by building all those crazy obstacles. And then we got sponsors like Red Bull together with it to make the whole event even bigger. And
so
make it feel like a festival.
There's actually a skate park there.
There's an indoor skate park, and outside there's a bowl, and there are different bars on their grounds, and then they have separate stages, so there are like multiple bands playing that day, and then we built like 3 crazy setups, and each time it's 1 hour skating one obstacle, and you can't win any money. Like, you don't win any money with the event. It's just the honor that you get. This
is why I love you guys.
It also takes away certain type of skaters that just want to skate for the money, and they want to try and keep themselves safe, which I understand because they need to do it for competitions and it's maybe their job and their living. And on these kinds of events, you get like total nut jobs sometimes. They just throw the craziest shit, and that's what we love to see. Like, we just want to see crazy shit going down.
My favorite skater of 2022, and I can't remember his name, so it's so embarrassing. But he was in a lot of your footage. I can't remember what his name is. He's
Jason.
I'm sorry, Jason.
Yeah. Jason Lijnsaat. Yeah, he's insane.
Jason is one of my 2022 skater of the year for me. Like, he out of nowhere. Like, I think I knew him through Lars or through meeting him at events, and then out of nowhere he's just doing the craziest shit in 2022.
He won like I think Asia Cup 1 or 2 times because he's from Bali. And when he was like 13 or 14, he won Asia Cup. Like, he has a crazy upbringing. We had him in our podcast. Just try and learn Dutch so you can listen to his story, because his story is insane. But this guy, he's insane with skating transition. Like, he's scared of nothing. He just does it all. Also on street rails, he can do anything. And he's now also a host of ours. Because Woody is not always available, so we thought we need another crazy dude, and that's Jason
with some English.
Yeah, and he has really good English. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. Jason's a legend. Yeah. I saw him at NAS this year, and he's funny. He's like Woody. He's got a sense of humor as well.
Yeah, he's really funny, and he's really nice to everyone. Like, he's not being arrogant or anything like that. He won Pier Parade as well.
Good. He's so good. Did he win it? He's so good,
he win it.
And he's so humble.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I really like about this guy. Yeah.
So
he won it last year.
That's awesome. I saw the footage, and I so gutted that I couldn't go. It just looked so much fun, and hopefully this year, if it doesn't clash with the Norway event I've got, I'm 100% there. Is it over the weekend?
Yeah, it's like Thursday and Friday. It's the Dam Am at the skate park. And then on Saturday, it's the Pier Parade. Well, and it starts at around 1 till 11.
1 till 11. I'm hoping that I can at least make the weekend. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll put you on the guest list. So
I might have to I might have to try and steal Jason for the podcast, so people don't have to let Jason make it.
Hey,
I never thought about that about Jason.
Yeah, ask him.
Super good dude.
He'll probably be down.
With you mentioning him being on your podcast, when did you start your podcast then?
I think about 3 years ago.
Just before the pandemic.
Yeah, probably. I'm really shitty at what I'm already saying, like with the timetable and stuff.
What's your podcast called? You're in the podcast room at the moment, right?
Yeah, it's called, like, I was like, it's a video, and it's audio, and it has to grip people, so we called it Griptape podcast.
Ah, nice. I'd not noticed that.
Yeah, Griptape podcast. Like this, our logo is like this, like a skateboard with a G with the board in the middle. Oh, like this.
That's some good graphics. Who's your graphic designer?
A friend of mine. He also designed our logo for Flatspot, like the new logo. Like the old logo for Flatspot was this one.
Ah, yeah.
And the new one, I don't have over here. No, I don't have. Maybe no, I don't have it.
Have you managed to start doing merch yet for Flatspot Magazine?
I've got some merch here in the closet, but we don't sell anything. We just give it away.
That's what I mean. When you gave me the hoodie, which I treasure that hoodie, like it's something that no one else has. Absolutely love it. I love that hoodie. The only thing is, when I wear it, people think I'm Woody, but
yeah, but that's good. Gets you free beers. No, we like when we try and sell clothing, our stuff is too expensive because we look for like the best sweaters, the best shirts, and when you want to try and sell that, people think it's too much because they're used to other brands with shitty quality and they pay like 50 euros for a sweater. We don't want to have shitty quality on the street, so
I think the fact that you're getting it printed anyway, I mean, I'm not a businessman, but I think the fact you're getting it printed anyway, people, especially as you get older, people want to pay for quality, something that's going to last, and something that's supporting something amazing like Flatspot Magazine.
But you're older and you've got money. And
that's what I'm saying.
But a lot of people don't want to pay for it. No. So we rather just make a bunch and just give it away to people when they ask for it or something like that.
That's fair enough. And I mean, I treasure mine for that reason. It's like no one else has got this hoodie.
Like it's not like you wash it 6 times and your whole shirt is getting like rolled up at the bottom and stuff like that. So
well, there's a whole political argument there with regards to fast fashion and how it's getting churned around.
Exactly.
That's why you should sell them. And people will wear them forever.
Yeah, or people just get them and just pressure them like you. Yeah. We don't want to see our sweaters at some secondhand store.
So how has been running your podcast then? Has it been good?
Yeah, I always find it pretty hard to make time for it.
Yes.
Because we have I do it together with Douwe Makkerij, who's also a skater from Holland. He was like thinking about it, and I was also thinking about it. And he just called me. He was like, "Yeah, you know what I'm thinking about starting a podcast." And I was like, "Oh, that's the same thing I was thinking about." So we started it together. And now, just in the beginning, we also had another host. That was the father of a friend of mine. He owned a skate shop in the beginning, but he didn't really know any real skateboarding terminology and other things. So it was pretty awkward sometimes for him to be around other people that knew a lot, and just he would just be sitting there like, yeah. So he quit, and that's when we turned it over in. We've got a guest, and we asked some of their friends to be the guest host to sit next to them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but you need like to time 4 people at the same day. That's pretty hard. So.
And as I found doing this, the amount of effort that goes into podcasting is insane. Like the level of dedication that you need to know that you're not going to get any money, and you've just got to enjoy it. Like I really enjoy it. I really enjoy speaking to people, but like you're not getting anything back from it, basically.
No, yeah, you get a nice story, and you get to know someone, and that's what I really like about it. But just that step to doing it every time is a little bit hard for me. But then it's the day, and we just sit here, and then all of a sudden it's like a 3-hour talk, and you get to know someone so deep, and like, oh whoa, didn't know this about that guy, and oh, that's crazy, and now I understand why he did this or he did that, and I really enjoy that, like getting to know those people on another term than just skateboarding, just seeing their tricks, and that's what I really like about it. And yeah, what you say, like you don't make any money with it, so you have to do it for the love of it. Like we just do it. If you have a sponsor, then you have to post every so many times, or you have to sell them a package of 12 episodes or something like that. But
are you going to be
like
my business manager?
What?
Are you going to be my business manager?
I could 50% stake. No, but also editing it then. But I started out with 3 cameras. So I had my main camera at the top. Then I had one focused on me and the guest. Then there was one on Dawa on that side next to the guest host. And I would have to edit like a 3-hour video, just put all those videos above each other, and those other 2 cameras were just handy cams. They don't film 3-hour long clips because that's pretty hard to buy a camera that can film 3 hours straight. They're way more expensive, and I don't want to buy another camera like that. So I was first syncing it all up with the audio, then trying to cut it. It took me like one whole day at least to do that. And then the rendering was insane, so I was like, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna do it. Just one camera, straight in the middle, and then people will just watch that.
I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that you started off editing and spending a lot of time on stuff. I think that's nice because you finesse it. But I was the same. I was editing all my videos, and I had someone actually message me and say they prefer unedited, raw conversation.
So you can see the...
And like, it's funny, but a pause in between words and stuff is actually natural. So I was trying to cut out everything like that as well in mine. And actually,
then it feels rushed when you listen to it. Like people that are not watching it don't see the cut. Yeah. So then they're listening it through Spotify or something like that. They're like, whoa, this is out of pace.
Have you ever thought about using a Blackmagic console?
To mix, you mean? For the filming?
Because you could do live mixing instead of having to edit it.
Yeah, I know. Like that's what I did like 10 years ago. I did live event coverage.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I'm like, I can't be doing that and sitting and talking with the guest. Then I would need another person to relay the agenda with. That would be sitting on the, like this is another room in my house. Like this is not some studio somewhere else. This is just one bedroom, a really small room. So I need to put someone on my hallway on the second floor. Yes. Like on the hallway with a little editor, like, and he'll probably be grinning or just laughing, and then my audio would be fucked or something like that. So maybe in the future. I'm looking at a 360 camera. I'm thinking it should be possible, a 360 camera in the middle that can notice the peaks of each microphone, so it automatically takes that one and doesn't pan, because panning it makes you nauseous eventually. Just click, boom, that one, that one.
The technology. I love that you know.
That's what I'm thinking about.
I love that you know about technology, and that's something. Literally on Friday, I was helping my girlfriend's brother with him doing English lessons for the Mexicans here. He does classes, and he'd bought I didn't even know you could do this. He'd bought a gimbal, and the gimbal is for a phone, and he just places his phone in the gimbal. And we worked out that you could like double click the button and it comes up with a box on the human's head, and the gimbal just follows the person.
Follows the head, yeah.
I was freaked out so much, really freaked out. But then having said that, I reckon that someone in your caliber and your capabilities could get a Blackmagic desk, and I mean I just thought about it. That's why I make notes, because when I'm talking to you, I'm actually swapping between the OBS cameras, and I think you would just eventually naturally be like, oh, that guy's speaking number 3. Oh, I'm speaking number 1. We're all speaking number 2. I think eventually your brain would just click into it. Like you say, it's difficult to do multitasking.
Then I'll be sitting like this, because it's 4 people. Like with 2 people and 2, like even when I put it into Premiere, you can do multi-track camera, I think. Then you can edit like camera 1, camera 2, camera 3.
Oh yes.
I would fuck up every time. So every time I needed to scroll back, deleted the first, cut it in a little bit. So I was no.
I forgot about that. DaVinci Resolve allows you to do that as well. You can do post.
Yeah, multi-track camera. Yeah,
Yeah.
but maybe some of your viewers knows a better option for us. So leave it in the comments.
An email. Yeah,
leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments.
I love it that you know all about this stuff. Oh man, that's brilliant. So you're a Premiere. I know we talked a little bit about this off camera, but you're a Premiere Pro user.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So why haven't you made the transition to DaVinci Resolve? Is one of my questions.
I was thinking about it, but I know like so many shortcuts, and so like I make my videos in about 3 hours. Like from filming it to just editing it and uploading it is 3 hours. Around that time. If I have to learn all those certain things again, I'll probably be working 5 hours for the next 20 videos at least. And I think Premiere is going to fix all their bullshit.
They say that.
They just hired like all the people that were complaining. They hired them over or something, or flew them over. I really hope they're gonna fix their shit.
Yes, I was just about to say, because I'm a massive YouTube nerd. I love watching YouTube videos, and that was one of the things. One of the DaVinci Resolve people had been flown.
Yeah, John Gaffrey or
Adobe.
But no, not Garrity nog wat. What's his name? This one guy with the big beard. I watched. He was a Premiere. He was a Premiere guy, and now he's into Resolve, and he was flown over to San Francisco, I think.
Yes, yeah.
That's the one I saw. Yeah.
And they were interviewing him about why he uses DaVinci over Adobe and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If you transfer over, you've got a button that just goes to Adobe buttons.
But then still, you have like the stacks or something like that, like the weird. It's a different way of working. Like I'm getting old, man. I'm used to my old shit. I switched one time from Sony Vegas when I was younger. Like I used Sony Vegas in the beginning. I came over to Adobe Premiere. I really love Adobe Premiere. The only thing they fucked up is you've got, I don't know the codec anymore, but my Sony camera is HAVC.
Right.
That's the codec.
Yes.
Every Premiere or the newest Premiere can't handle that footage. So I have to film on a lower quality for the last year now. Because if I put it in, every video clip would have a black frame in it. And it would say video clip. Yeah, video clip
missing.
Damaged.
Yes.
Video clip damaged. Got a black frame. And then I'm like, okay, re-render. Which then you have to how do you say? You have to re-import all the footage again and then connect it to those things. So I was like, fucking hell. Or use the media encoder and make it into a QuickTime file. But
yeah, fair play to you. Unless Adobe wanted to sponsor this podcast, I shit on Adobe when I can.
I wouldn't allow.
It's subscription based as well. Like DaVinci Resolve is a
50
one-off.
I pay €50 a month for the whole Adobe package.
I can't believe that.
Like what the fuck? And then it's like
worse.
If you're
it's
starting out
worse.
to film, don't start out with Premiere. But when you do, good luck. I am wondering
whether the bearded guy that I watched on YouTube mentioned that's one of the key points. Is DaVinci Resolve has a free version.
Yeah.
And the free version is literally...
It needs to be as good as what you pay for it.
Exactly.
That's what he said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even bringing the subscription down if you're just using Premiere. Because like £50,
no.
like you can get the studio version of DaVinci for £300 and it's a one-off payment, and then you've got all the updates until you die, supposedly.
Yeah, but €50 I pay for the whole pack, so everything from Adobe.
So you're using Photoshop, InDesign,
I've got everything, and I don't really use all those other things, but I've got it. If I ever want to animate or use After Effects, I use After Effects like now and then to create something, but
you get 2 logins, don't you? You can send me one of your logins.
I don't know if I have 2 logins.
I think you get 2.
Do I?
I think you get 2. Yeah. You
Oh,
can
maybe.
be logged. You can be logged.
Hey, €30 a month.
Split the difference. What's been your favourite trip with Flatspot Magazine? What have you really enjoyed, or what's been your favourite trip?
Favorite trip? A few. I think the one to Curacao, like just before the COVID hit, was really fun because the island brought us over. Like there's a local skate park, and this guy just arranged together with the government to take us to the island with 3 of the best skaters of Holland to just go to
Wow.
schools and just visit those kids in like the poorest neighborhoods to go and skate with, and to just see the whole island. It was my first time in the Caribbean. I really liked that because we were there, and there was one dude, and his parents owned like multiple newspapers on the island, so they were loaded as hell. They had like their own marina and stuff like that, and they were like, "Which car do you want?" And they had a few Jeep Wranglers, so we all got the Jeep Wrangler, and it was every night was just partying and cruising around with the cars. It was insane. It was like a lawless country. It was first time there. I was like, "What the fuck are we in?" So that was really nice. I think the trip to Curacao, and that was a fun trip. And I think after that we went maybe the first time or the second time to Tampa, to the Tampa Am. I don't know if it was it the first time with them. How was it then again? I think we went to Miami first, and then from Miami we took a car and drove up to Florida to Tampa. That was a nice trip. Uh, Another nice, yeah. We've been to so many. Copenhagen. It's always been fun. Um, I think Lisbon was also nice. Just going to Lisbon, just a street, just to film some street.
That was a recent trip, wasn't it?
No,
Oh no.
I think 3 years ago.
Ah.
I think 3 years ago.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm,
To me, that's recent.
I'm gonna put you on the background. I'm gonna look into our history again because it's just all a blur.
You need a reminder
Uh,
of your best trip. I love that.
Yeah.
What? Going out to Tampa, was that you, Woody, and Mateus?
Yeah.
Ah, that's amazing. And you all got flown out there to cover it.
Back then, I got flown out because they hired me to film the Tampa
Okay.
with Frank, the guy that
That's
always does the
amazing.
spotlight videos. I think after we filmed them at in Barcelona, I think they did a Damn Am stop in Barcelona, and I knew Brian already from like 12 years ago when it was still Techie. When I was working at Techie, or 13 years ago, I was doing the live webcasts like in Europe at different events. So for Copenhagen Open and for the Damn Am in Holland. Back then, the Damn Am was really big. So I met Brian back then, but he completely forgot about me. I think when I was in Barcelona. But they liked what we did, and they were like, "Yeah, come over to Tampa," and we covered that event. And they hired me, I think, 2 times to help them film, and now we help them out sometimes here in Europe and stuff. So that's pretty nice.
That's awesome.
And the best trips, oh man, there's so much things that you do that nothing's fun anymore.
I've just realised I'm trying to get your questions, and I've just realised I think with the last podcast I did, I forgot to edit in the questions. I like just to have like the pop out over the
Oh,
top.
so people can read what
Exactly.
you're asking.
And I
Ah,
just realised I think I forgot to edit that in last week.
oh, well.
Apologies to that.
Keep evolving every. Yeah, here, Half Pipe Horror. That's you. That was 3 years ago.
Man, Half Pipe Horror was hilarious, and I probably shouldn't go live with this story, but I think I told you this. I didn't. You said, "Oh, could you do the interview?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was so stoked. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm going to be doing the interview for Flatspot Magazine. This is amazing." And then it was like I'd entered the competition, I'd done my runs, and it was like 2:00, and I'd not realised that you were turning up for the kind of the final. And it was like I think it was like 3:00, and I just had some cheeky cake in the Netherlands. You got to experience these things, I think.
Oh yeah.
And I had some cheeky cake, and I remember it hit me quite hard, and it was still just before you turned up. And I remember I was watching the vert competition, and I was so spaced out that I thought I had to keep moving my head watching the skaters to look like I wasn't high. And so I was like doing this, and I remember Jim Langron was sitting next to me, and afterwards he found out, and he's like, Rob, I've never known you to be so quiet. Like, people were doing good tricks and you weren't yelling or anything. He's like, I thought something was up with you. And I remember you turned up, and I think Lars or someone said, oh, Tim's here. And I remember being like, I like to be fairly professional. And I was like, oh no, I can't believe this. This is like going to be a nightmare. And I remember the whole time being like, I hope Tim doesn't realise. I hope Tim doesn't realise. So
I didn't know. I didn't know. And the other thing is, like you were saying that you couldn't skate. So for the last few years, like till last year, I think, I really thought you couldn't skate. I really thought you were just covering people at skate parks and events.
And being a douche.
I really thought you couldn't skate. I thought you were like, no, I can't do anything. I really believed you. I found my other good. I found the other trip that I really liked. I think Snipe Squad Up to Paris. It was a squad up contest. That was a really nice one because we entered as a team as well, the Flatspot team, because some other dudes didn't show up, so our team became second at the event.
Wow.
So that was pretty nice, yeah.
What year was that?
That was 3 years ago. Snipe Squad Up Paris 2019. Yeah. Yeah, that was really nice. Yeah, and all the Copenhagen Opens, like, I really love going there, just seeing the total chaos of. You can just walk out of a bar and all of a sudden there's pros walking that way, and then over there you see some guy puking. It's another pro. It's just the weird vibe that it has over there, and everybody's nice. So that's what I really like about the Copenhagen Open.
2017.
You can skate everywhere.
Some of my best memories from that. Some of my best memories. So I don't think you didn't catch me skating in the competition at Halfpipe Horror because you turned up later, didn't you? So you still didn't. So when did you see me skate then? Because
I think I even commented on your Instagram clip when I for the first time saw you skate. I was like, what the fuck? You can just do hard flips and other things. You can do tricks. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought maybe you can just ollie or something like that.
I love that. You think this guy who's turned up in like a stupid suit to Copenhagen is just going around being a douchebag and like can only ollie.
That's really what I thought, but I didn't think you're a douche. I just think this is like a weird guy.
Oh, that's quality. I've still got a million questions for you, but we're already running into like the hour mark. So and you've got so many questions, and this is already definitely an over 18 podcast, but you've got a few questions that. Another thing that I love is that the Dutch and the English humour, and I think Germans as well, have a very similar off the wall sense of humour. Some of us. And like with Woody and the questions that he's asking, and the questions that have come in for you, some of them are just so X-rated that I'm gonna have to be a bit careful with how I read them out.
I'm really curious. Are you also going to say the names of the people that ask them?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, then I'm curious who they are.
Your first question, Conrad Unvers.
Okay, yeah.
Know him?
Yeah, I know him definitely. Yeah.
Amazing. First question, which is definitely serious. What's your credit card number?
One, I think. And my security code is 666, I think. Something like that. And do you also need the expiration date? Or
I
not?
think so. Well, he just says credit card number, so he actually doesn't ask for any of the other details.
Okay. Well, Conrad, I'll tell you in person.
DMs.
You can have it
through
from
the
me.
DMs.
Yeah. That's a safe way to send a credit card info.
The next question comes in from, we've already talked about language, and this is super difficult for me. I think it's Matij Stromps. Matij Stromps.
Stromps?
Stromps, yeah. What was his worst hangover ever?
Holy fuck, yeah. I've got some really bad hangovers. Like, that's insane. I think the one in Berlin after Bright. I think we had been drinking so much beer, and Matthijs, he always seems to pull out like the craziest drinks, and all of a sudden he gives Jägermeister to everyone. Shots. And I was there, I think, with Rob Madman, Jelle Madman, and Matthijs, and we were in the shittiest hostel ever. Like the cheapest beds, like 5 beds next to each other. And I woke up like it's 8 in the morning, and I walked up to the shower. I started shaking. I puked everything in the shower, like
Oh,
everything. Like there was vegetables everywhere on the sink, like next to the sink from the shower. And I was like, oh fuck! And I went back to my bed and I started like shaking like this. Like I couldn't stop shaking. Every time I took a sip of water, I started puking again. And Matthijs and Jelle and Rob, they were like, "Oh fuck, should we take him to should we call an ambulance? This isn't good." And I was like, "No, this is normal when I'm really fucked up. Just leave me be." So they went away and just went to get some food somewhere in the city. And after 3 or 4 hours of shaking, I just walked out of the hostel just completely white because I hadn't eaten anything, didn't drink anything. I think that was the worst. But I get really bad hangovers, like really, really bad. Yeah. Most
I'm
people would
just
quit drinking after that, but I'm kind of an idiot for it or
soldiering
something.
on.
Yeah.
I've just realised this person has sent in about 8 questions. So it's literally turned
Isn't
into
it isn't it Matthijs?
It could be Matthias.
Is it M?
Mathij Stromp.
Yeah, Tromps.
Yes.
Tromp. Yeah, that's Matthijs. That's
So, that,
that's
so we've
that's the
got
guy from Flatspot.
shout outs. We've got 8 questions from him, so it's turned into
Oh, okay, yeah.
it's turned into, is it Matthias? Is it Matthias?
It's Matthijs, yeah.
Ah,
That's Matthijs. Yeah.
it's turned. We've got a little Matthias section then. This is brilliant.
Yeah.
I love this. He's
No, it
helping
is.
me out. He's helping me out here.
Fuck.
Where in the world can he drink without getting hangovers?
Well, I was in Barcelona last week, and I partied a lot over there, and I haven't had any hangover any day, like none. I think it has to do with uh, if I worked a few days before and then start drinking and partying, then I'm gonna be fucked the first day, but after that, I'm probably an alcoholic after that, and I'll just keep on drinking and push the hangover forward. So probably I can drink on a holiday the best. Like
Work
Berlin
hard,
was too much work.
work hard,
Yeah.
play hard. Exactly.
Nah, not yeah, no. Work hard, hangover hard. That's probably it. When I'm
Matthias,
chilling, I'm okay probably. Yeah.
Matthias's third question: when is he going to eat only hamburgers for 1 month straight again? I'm
Don't
assuming
think I'm gonna do that again.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming
I've done
there's a
that.
story.
Yeah, the first time that I went to America was with my ex-girl, and because she was American, and I was like, when I get there, I'm gonna eat a different hamburger every day, because it's America. So every day I would I would just go to a different restaurant, even at 11 in the evening. I was like, oh fuck, we still need to get a hamburger. She was like, ah fuck, not again. And I've rated them all, so I gave them all a score on my phone, like on my notes. But when will I do that again? Maybe next year. Yeah,
You
maybe
have to
next year.
document it. There's
Yeah.
that like program when I was younger about the guy who only ate McDonald's for like a month or something.
Yeah, supersize me.
That's right. You need to do a
Yeah.
supersized Flatspot version.
Well, I can't get supersized. I can eat so much junk food. I'm not gaining anything.
We have so much in common. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I have the same problem. I went to
And it's not a problem.
I went I went to the gym in 2019 and they've got one of those expensive machines that like calculate your body mass, your body
Yeah.
water, and I remember at the end, I was like, "What's that number there for 14?" And he was like, "Oh, that's your
Fat percentage.
no, that's your metabolism,
Oh.
your metabolism." And I
Okay.
was like, "Yeah, but." I was like, "What does 14 mean? Like, is it 14 kilograms, 14 miles?" And he's like, "Oh, you've got the metabolism of a 14-year-old." And I was like, "I am so winning at 30 years old. That's amazing."
Oh, damn.
Like, yeah.
I'm a 14-year-old. Yeah, but you can also be a 14-year-old and dying. So
I don't feel so bad for saying your alcohol intake and your burger intake is probably not too healthy.
no, that's true.
Question, question. I think it's number 4. What's his? I don't know whether I'm allowed to read this one out. What's his thing with ginger girls?
With ginger girls?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a ginger. No.
No, that's a random question.
Is
from
Matthijs
Matthias.
asking that?
Yeah. What's his thing with ginger girls?
I'm gonna ask what his thing with ginger girls is.
I bet he's like
Ginger girls?
comes out of a story and you're like, ah, yes, I totally forgot that.
Yeah, maybe I was drunk back then, but I do
This-
like ginger girls, but yeah, but nothing special, I think.
Next question is on point for many different reasons. Why do all filmers feel very important during an event filming? And he's put some emojis. On
And it's
there as
also
well.
from Matthijs.
It's also from Matthias, yeah.
Says the self-entitled photographer that's walking around the skate park.
Fun.
No, but now I'm gonna be really cocky. That's probably because we are filming it for the whole world. So the whole world doesn't have to come to a skate park and use all the airplane fuel or car fuel. So we're doing it for the environment. That's the main reason. That's the main reason, I think.
That's some super good propaganda. I like that. I've just read his next question and it suddenly makes sense to me. It might not make sense to me. Do you know someone called Aitan?
Who?
Aitan. Aytan. No? I think he might mean me because my surname's Aitan.
Yeah.
So he's put who's better, Woody or Aitan? On
Yeah,
the
you.
spot. On this.
You. You, of course.
Unless there's a Dutch person that I don't know called Aitan, because I'm amazed
No,
he knows my
he's
surname.
definitely comparing you two.
Is that
But I think
is that the misspelling that you did at SLS as well? Is that why he's
Maybe.
taking the mic?
Oh, that could be.
That's quite
He's got
funny.
a good. He's got a good memory. So
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Well, thank you.
But I
Sorry,
but I
Woody.
think you two should have a competition. Yeah.
He's going to win.
Who's
He's going to win. Unless it's Vert.
Who's the host down?
I like that. In like a Japanese... In a Japanese...
Yeah,
like,
some say like Takashi Castle kind of style. Running and putting your head sideways through a wall and those kinds of weird things. In a sumo wrestler suit skating. Yeah.
That's got to happen. That's kind of borderline Jackass style. I like that.
Nice.
We'll get the 128 megabyte camera contest in there somewhere as well.
Yeah.
Who can get the best
Get
three
a
clips?
full length street video with a 128 MB video camera.
I can't touch street, so he's already won there. The next question's on point as well. When will you grow a mullet?
When I will grow a mullet.
That's his final
Well,
question as well.
Okay, my hair's receding so bad that I'll probably just only have a mullet in a few years. So, so it's already almost gone.
That's called a skullet.
A skillet?
A skullet is just the back bit.
Skullet.
A
Oh,
skullet.
that's so dirty. It's so dirty to just
That's
have that one.
No offense to people with skullets, but it is a proper dirty haircut, that one.
Yeah.
Next one, we finally moved on. Thank you, Matthias,
nice.
for all those questions. Mango Miller.
Yeah. That's the guy I was visiting in Barcelona.
Amazing. And this question's on point. Again, sorry for saying on point, but all these questions are great. How much of a player is Tim? Do you currently have a girlfriend?
No. I don't have a girlfriend. Well, Margot Miller, you tell them.
That's such a political response.
I don't see myself as a player. but-
Tessa Hawks Bergens.
Yeah, okay.
I love your laugh
Yeah.
straight away after
Yeah.
each. Can
She works at the bicycle shop where I work sometimes. Yeah.
Can Tim do a trick on a skateboard with a little skateboard emoji?
I can.
I've seen
What
it.
do you want to see?
They've not asked what they want to see, or she's not asked.
Well, I will show her sometimes.
Can you do a hard flip?
No.
Can you do a nollie hard flip?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not that good at the shove it on the backside. Like my
So-
favorite trick is nollie big spin flip or something like that. I can do that. That's
I
my
should have
go-to.
asked you
That's my go-to trick. I think that's easier than just doing a kickflip. So
nollie big spin flip.
yeah.
Have you appeared on any of your Flatspot Magazine videos where you've just got a sneaky filmer trick in there?
Don't know.
I want to
don't
see a
really know.
skate part. I want to see a skate part from you that Woody's filmed.
Yeah, I've got some tricks on my Instagram.
I'm going to go through and look now.
Yeah, I've got some over there.
Jeroen Leons? Jeroen Leons?
Jeroen? Yeah.
I love the...
I think is it with a blue profile pic? I was with him in Barcelona. Like we went and visited Mango Mila, but I was with him. What's his question?
I've kind of already asked you this, but you can bring up another one if you want. What was your best recent trip?
Barcelona. But that was not with Flatspot. That was just a holiday trip. And
Did
I really
you do some
enjoyed
skating?
it. I went there. I went from Thursday till Sunday, and I just brought my trucks. I went over to, like, the first night we started partying. Next morning, I went to Rufus at Makba, bought a deck, screwed the deck on, went outside, started eating with Jeroen, and had some drinks. Went and brought my skateboard back to the hotel. Dropped the skateboard, started drinking more and partying. The next day we were like, we're gonna skate. Like we were at a bar with, I think Danny Garcia was there and Blake. I don't know his last name anymore. And he was also like, tomorrow we're gonna skate. And we were like, yeah. Started drinking. Next morning at 12 we were like, fuck it, we're not gonna skate today. So we started hanging out somewhere, chilling a bit. That kept going for 2 days. Then the last day we were like, oh, we're fresh today, we're gonna skate. So we went back to Makba to have lunch at Kino next to Rufus. And I was a bit hangover, so I was like, I really need a beer. So I took one beer, and then friends of Jeroen lived there for 5 years. All friends of Jeroen came over, and well, eventually I walked back to Rufus, borrowed their tool. And I was like, I haven't stood on my skateboard the whole 4 days. So I pulled down my whole skateboard, brought skateboard to another guy that lives there. I'm like, I'll be back in a month. So I'm going back the 3rd of May till the 10th to try and skate then.
You need to film a skate part. A quick little
I will
3
try.
clips on the 128 megabyte card. Boom.
Okay, I'll try and bring that camera with me. I've got it somewhere in my house still.
480p.
I think it's even 260 or something like that, or 240. I don't know. Yeah, 240. It has to be then. I'll try and bring it with me.
With all the talk of drinking, I totally forgot the icebreaker question. If you're at a bar,
Yeah.
and I like the idea of if you're a wine bottle because it goes with the wine club, but it could be any drink. How would you describe yourself as a beverage?
Describe myself as a beverage. That's a really hard one. I really do like red wine.
Yeah?
But I don't describe myself as a red wine because it's way too laid back, way too it's just gotta simmer and just chill out. I'm a little bit all over the place all the time, so probably what's it called? The one with the coffee and the shot in it?
Kahlua?
No, it's like a fancy glass. Like it's martini espresso.
It's a cocktail.
Yeah, martini espresso. Let's go for that one.
That's quite classy as well.
Yeah, I'm a classy guy.
I love that. I love the cheesy question, the cheesy icebreaker question that I've managed to put at the end of most of these podcasts. Next in, we've got Roberto Augustus Stapleton's response. Did you know flat tops is an anagram of flat spot, and have you ever had one?
I don't know what a flat top is.
It's like a haircut that's like, like Will Smith.
Oh, like that, like a buzz cut.
Yes.
Like,
but it's like flat on the top.
but then straight. Yeah. Like the old military people had in the old movies.
Yes.
No, I've never had it because I've got my hair so thin, it would just fall down. So no, unfortunately, no.
Just need to use a lot of hairspray.
Yeah.
This next Instagram handle is a little bit un-PC. Bobby Bastard's response.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know Bobby Bastard?
Yeah, no Bobby Bastard, yeah.
This is the question that I really shouldn't be reading out. Have you ever been fingered while filming an event?
No, I don't think so. You want to be my first, Bobby?
When I got that question in, I was just like, am I reading this one out? It's so out there.
But he always does it. Like, ask weird questions at weird times. He's such a funny dude. He's such a funny guy. He's also a filmmaker. A really good one. Yeah, really good
skate
filmmaker.
films or just films in general?
No, he's back in the day he did hip hop videos in Holland for big companies and his own company. And also the Pata, you know, the shoe brand? There's a documentary of Pata on Netflix.
Okay, no, I don't. Oh, he's actually
also
done
the one.
Netflix.
Yeah, but he quit that.
Wow.
He sold his part in that company, so they brought it out without him, I think. But he did a lot of the work for that as well.
That's
So he did
awesome.
some really good things. Yeah, really nice dude. But he asks
Cool.
weird questions. Oh, studio going down again.
That's brilliant. Yeah, sorry, I just kicked the table that the camera's on. So professional. Final question, Tim, because
Okay.
what time is it there now? It must be getting on.
It's 9:30.
Oh, it's not too bad. I should have kept
No,
going.
it's
I'm gonna have to get you back on. I love talking to you. Beagles B.
yeah.
Do we know Beagles B?
No, I don't think so.
This is probably a little bit unpolitically correct, but an interesting one. Gun to
Okay.
the head. I think it's Jeremy Ray water tower ollie or Foy front crook El Toro. What you got?
A what? What's the first one?
I think it's Jeremy Ray the water tower
Yeah.
ollie
Oh, yeah.
or
Okay.
Foy's front crook down El Toro. I don't know
I'll
why.
go.
I don't know why the what you got at the end. It's like, what have you got? What are you going to outdo these two guys with, or whether it's like.
Oh, to outdo those.
No, I'm assuming the question is which one, because it says.
Oh,
gun
which
to the
one's
head.
which one's sicker?
Yes.
I think the water tower is like an epic shot and just insanely gnarly. Even though El Toro is gnarly as well and crazy to do, like the water tower is just that's something that really sticks to the mind. Like just that shot from the side, just first him jumping over, I think, and then doing the ollie. It's
And that was in like the late
that one.
90s, wasn't it?
yeah.
And I think recently they did a video of it and they revisited it and then they measured it. And just doing a flat ground ollie that big
It's insane.
is insane. Without the
Yeah.
idea of you falling down 30 or 40 meters
It's
to your death.
that's really a crazy. Yeah, that one definitely. Please don't shoot me. So that one.
And I don't really understand the what you got, but if you were going to outdo either of those, what would you suggest outdoing?
Well, Nolly Bixman flipped the big gap, like the water tower gap.
just to outdo Jeremy Ray.
Yeah, fuck it.
Or
And then
Nolly
the-
Big Spin flip down the Toro, El Toro.
No, then I'll prefer doing the rail. Well, the only crazy real trick I ever could do, I can't really do them anymore, is Hurricane. So Hurricane down El Toro. So
have to
front
relearn
side
that
coming
one.
up to the rail, and then front Hurricane, I think. Or then you go into the backside truck on it, like so it's backside, I think. It's always hard thinking about it.
I
Like you
actually
do a
don't know.
backside ollie, so your backside hits the rail, so it's a backside Hurricane. Yeah.
I want to see that in Barcelona next month.
In Barcelona,
On the,
I
on
can
the
do
ledge.
it on a flat rail. Last time I did it, the rail, someone waxed it so bad that my board slid out and I got the rail like this going in front of me. So I'm kind of mentally scarred of that trick.
Is it-
But on El Toro, okay, I'll do it.
Just make sure no one's waxed
Because
it
the
up.
rail goes down, so it's. Yeah, please don't wax it.
I rails. I've got so much respect for rail skaters, especially flipping Jamie Foy. A trick that I've got on rail is feeble, and I've wanted the whole time I've been in Mexico to feeble the whole rail in Lira. It's quite a long rail, and I was like dreaming. Like when I got it, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I can't remember how many months ago it was that I tried it, but I rolled up to it and I was going quite fast because I wanted to do the whole rail. Totally missed the feeble. Totally missed the feeble. Got my board wrapped up in my feet, and of course I'm still going really fast. And I just remember falling and like ribbing.
The reel in your side. Oh fuck.
And I'm just like, how do people skate rails so well?
If you just want to feel it, just wax it way worse, because on a feeble you can just lock it and you can even stand still. And I love doing feebles. I would always do feeble to fakie because I think feeble straight is. I hate doing them straight, but feeble to fakie. But on reels, like I started reel skating really late. Like I first only did flip tricks, and a few years back I could do a few hand reels, like 50 frontside 50s, like that, but not anymore.
Gnarly.
Yeah, not anymore.
And the other thing with it is, as soon as I get the grind, I'm finding that if I stay on it, my shoulders seem to turn and then literally go to feeble to board slide or to fakie. And it's so hard to keep your shoulders aligned so that you don't like lean over and go to board slide.
Yeah, that's my part is that I lean too much on my toes, like always with skating. So my board's always hanging like almost primo on the rail. So I'm really locked in. And at the end, if I want to pop out straight, I really have to do like this. Otherwise, I always go to primo at the end. So weird. That's why 180 out is way better.
I was going to say, I only just learned 180 out. And
so much chiller.
I'm the opposite. Excuse me for disrespecting a feeble 180 out, but I don't like feeble 180 outs. And I was like, I need to try it because I can't diss a trick that I can't do. And I must have spent 50 attempts on trying to do feeble fakie out, and karma got me really good because I had that problem with when I turned my shoulders and turned round, the board would go to rail, and I had like a really bad bruise on my foot because every time it turned to rail and I'd land on the rail. And
it's so weird but you get it on the other side than the primo. Like for me, it turns to my toes, and it just falls over with going straight. But going 180,
it must be the way
I've never had that. Yeah,
That's
I've
amazing.
never had it. Like 180, I can do them always. Like always 180 out. That's just my go-to trick on a rail. Feeble 180.
Mine go to rail and any trick, even if you're doing a kickflip down the stairs and you landed at rail, the balls of your feet. Ouch.
Yeah, just getting the screw of your wheel in your shoe, and then with old shoes with the worn down soles. No, fuck that. Yeah.
Right, I've rounded up the questions. I've still got a million questions for you. Really enjoyed the conversation, but I'm going to round up for you there. Thank you. Again, apologies about this morning and my
no problem.
My duct taped SkateWine-ness.
Yeah, but that's your shit, right? So we got to deal with it. It's your show.
And then I had a Mexican power cut just as I was ready, so that made it even worse. I was like, this is... But we've managed 3 Zoom meetings, and it's been fine, so thank God for that. And the sound is really good.
Yeah.
Well,
but thanks for having me over, man. Enjoyed it.
Thank you for being on, and thanks. I'm almost certain you're my first international guest on, which is brilliant because I want to touch on different scenes and having conversations.
I will tell Woody and Jason that you're hunting for them, so I'll let them know.
Amazing.
Thanks.
Finally, I've missed out the final question. Have you got any shout-outs to anyone?
Yeah, shout out to Matthijs and Woody, of course. To almost everyone that I work with. The guys from Tampa, the guys from Pier 15, my parents, all my friends here, you, everyone. Just shout out, Thanks for everyone, and that made this possible. That I have such a crazy life with skateboarding. That's everyone that added to that. Thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic sign off. Thank you again, Tim, for your time. And
and people at home, like and subscribe this channel. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. That really helps him a lot.
Wait, do it again. So I've got a full screen. I can put this at the end of every video I do from now on.
Okay, make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment because that really helps SkateWine out. Ciao.
Amazing. Thanks ever so much, Tim.
Nice. Have a good night.
Take it easy.
Yeah, you too. Bye bye.
Peace.
Yo.
Speechless. I'm not going to say wow because I've said it at the end of every single interview. Thoroughly enjoyed that conversation. I hope you did too. Tim from Flatspot Magazine. Go and check Flatspot Magazine out. They are super successful Dutch magazine media company covering skateboard events with really good footage of skateboarding and really good interviews with Woody. Thank you, Tim. Amazing fun little chat. Thank you for listening and catch you in the next The Wine Club. I believe this was episode 12. I hope I haven't got that wrong. Peace and love. I hope everyone's well.
Who you guys working for? Who is this?
It's SkateWine.
Oh, beautiful. Did you say SkateWine?
Yes, sir.